Okay, hello Sagittarius and welcome to your May 2026 monthly horoscope. If you are new here, welcome to my channel, and if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. Alright, so here today we are going to look at the astrology of May, and I'll tell you how the events happening in May will influence your life. On a deeper level, I follow Western astrology, tropical zodiac, and these horoscopes are most accurate for your ascendant sign, also called the rising sign. However, you can also watch them for your moon sign or your sun sign if you wish, just to get a bigger picture and a wider perspective upon your life. So thank you very much. And let's have a look at the first event happening in May, and that's a full moon happening in the sign of Scorpio at the 11 degrees. So that's on the very, very first day of May. And full moons, these occur when the sun and the moon are in the opposing signs. The moon is fully visible in the sky. So this energy tends to intensify our emotions, our feelings, our intuition as well. The energies will be very intense during this time because Scorpio is the sign of intensity. This is a fixed water sign. So at the same time, the decisions usually made during the full moon in a fixed sign, they are of a lasting nature. All right, so first of all here, Scorpio being a water sign and associated with transformation, rebirth, deep, profound energies. This is activating your 12th house, so a very introspective full moon. First of all, because it's Scorpio, which is already quite of a cautious, mysterious, transformative energy. And the 12th house often makes us want to withdraw, reflect, contemplate, especially during the full moon activations. So this is a full moon that might want to step back a little bit and perhaps detach a little bit from the outside world, from the public life. You might feel more tired than usual. You might have insomnia. You might need to rest. And this is the best time to actually take a break. And during these moments of solitude, this is when you can heal. This is when you can really process any intense feelings, emotions. Generally, during a full moon in Scorpio in the 12th house, it's really, really essential to have some time to rest, to withdraw. Otherwise, you can reach a point of a burnout even. All right, so here the 12th house is connected to endings. It is connected to anything to do with spirituality, hidden matters, the hidden aspects of life. At the same time, the full moon here doesn't bring the outward events first. It brings internal closure. Full moons are connected to closures and culminations, turning points. But at the same time, something within you might be reaching a turning point. So this energy could make you feel emotionally exhausted and heavy. And this is also a time of some strong realizations. That's why it's so important to spend time on your own. This is a time for healing, for an emotional detox in many ways as well. This energy can help you remove, let go, and release what doesn't serve you anymore, especially within you, within your energies. Now, at the same time, this full moon's modern ruler, which is Pluto, forms a square to this full moon. It's a wide square, but this is also connected to a certain degree of an internal closure. This Pluto is currently in your 3rd house, so this could be about some strong thoughts, realizations that give you a different perspective on a topic and a matter that has been on your mind. This could be about an important decision you'll be making that will give you that sense of closure, or perhaps a very deep, profound conversations you may have that may change your perspective, that may change a dynamic of the direction that perhaps you are taking. So this is a psychological shift happening on a really, really deep level on the inside, not necessarily on the outside. Now, also on the same day, we've got Mercury and Chiron conjunction happening at 27 degrees of Aries. So the late degree of this cardinal sign happening in your 5th house of creativity, romance, children, the inner child, self-expression. So this could be connected to some strong realizations or awareness even of where you have been holding yourself back, of where you have been making yourself feel small for the sake of others, for example, for the sake of peace. So this energy kind of reminds you, makes you more aware of the situations in your life, patterns, where perhaps you lack confidence or self-assertion. So this energy can give you some hints or some kind of thoughts, intuitive thoughts that could help you to reclaim your power, that could help you to reclaim your voice. But first, something needs to be released here. That's the 12th house energy of the Scorpio full moon. So whatever you're releasing, whatever you're letting go, negative self-talk, some negative self-conceptions you may have about yourself. These, by letting go and releasing these, you will allow yourself to reclaim your voice, your confidence, your power. All right, so on May the 3rd, Mercury moves into Taurus for 2 weeks, more or less. That's your 6th house. So here, this is when your mind, your attention shifts into something more practical, something more grounded, and to your routines, to your day-to-day activities, day-to-day responsibilities. Mercury in the 6th house is great for having a to-do list. What do you need to do? What needs to be done in your daily reality? What needs changing, restructuring? This is a chance for self-improvement, for perhaps becoming more productive at your work or on a daily basis, because the 6th house is associated with your routines, with your work environment, anything to do with your daily structure overall. So this is a chance to consider, to think carefully what in your daily life, in your daily reality is no longer sustainable. Now, May the 6th, on the other hand, Pluto turns retrograde at 5 degrees of Aquarius, and that's happening in your 3rd house. So Pluto has been here in this area of your life since about March, April 2023, initially moving back and forth between your 3rd and the 2nd house, but now it is fully establishing itself in your area of your mindset, thinking processes, communication, immediate environment. And when a planet stations retrograde, its energy goes within. It's more, it's expressed internally rather than externally when the planet is in a direct motion. So this energy is probably going to change, transform how you communicate. It could transform your perspective on certain aspects of your daily life reality. It could also transform your mindset, your thinking, how you interpret things overall. So there is this big shift going on a deeper level. And for some, this could be connected to a big transformation going here. Now, you've had the eclipses, of course, activating your 10th and the 4th house since September 2024. So many Sagittarius rising individuals started new careers, and many actually started careers in police work. Those that I know, at least in police work, detective work, something to do with research, investigation, or psychology. So that's Pluto's influence in many ways as well. So here, Pluto is shifting, transforming the patterns in your mindset here on a deeper level during the retrograde phase of Pluto here in Aquarius. So your thinking is shifting. It's a very, very slow and gradual process, something that you have already been experiencing since 2023. On May the 16th, we have a new moon in Taurus happening at 25 degrees of Taurus. So here, this is your 6th house. As you can see, there's quite a bit of activity happening into your Taurus house, even though Uranus is now gone into your 7th house. Now it's time for a little bit of stimulation here. So you have the sun here, of course, and now the new moon. Mercury is still here in very, very final degrees of Taurus. So what is this new moon about? So first of all, Taurus is a fixed earth sign. Taurus doesn't like to be rushed. Taurus is about sustainable, stable energy. Taurus loves stability. It's a very determined energy. Taurus doesn't like change, and Taurus, sometimes Taurus, because it's a fixed sign, so sometimes it takes a while to start something brand new, but once it does, then it wants to get through to the end. So I love the determination of this energy. So this is really great because this could see you rebuilding your daily reality, and this could see you even starting a new job, some learning new skills during this time. So something new, you're creating something new here in your daily reality, whether that's connected to your work, whether that's a new wellness or well-being routine or a new diet. Maybe this could involve some restructuring in your restructuring of your work, for example, or change to your routine. Maybe you want to focus more on your health, on your well-being, on your diet. So this is a very grounding energy and a wonderful, wonderful time for dedicating your effort into something that you think you are ready to commit to and you think that you can fully commit to it. So that's your lifestyle, routine, and your work. Let's now still carry on with the Taurus energy, because on May the 18th, we've got Mars entering the sign of Taurus. So think about everything that's happened at this point since the Sun entered Taurus. That was in the second part of May. Then you had that Uranus and Venus conjunction on the 24th at 29 degrees of Taurus. Then you had Mercury here from the 3rd of May until the 17th of May, and the new moon in Taurus on the 16th. Lots of dates to remember, but there has been so much going on in your daily life. So you had a chance by this point to think about your routine, to see what's working, what's sustainable. And if you haven't yet realized that, then Mars will definitely push things forward for you, because this is now when action follows, basically. So there is that momentum energy. Mars in Taurus is not fast, but is steady. It's steady. And if you rush too much, if you're too impatient, then it can create that less restless and frustrating energy. So that's something to work with, basically, not in an impulsive way, but rather a steady, determined way. And this is your chance to begin to implement the changes you've been thinking about. If something came up, see what's sustainable, what isn't, as I mentioned earlier, because Mars here can really help you to crack on and get on with whatever needs to change, whether that's your routine, your work environment, or perhaps that strong need to improve your daily life. This is your chance to get disciplined with your actions and intentions. So it's going to be a really active, busy month. It's a good time for also getting fit. If we're getting fit, Mars in the 6th house speeds up your metabolism as well. So it's a good time for if you want to diet, if you want to exercise or get fit or do some physical activity. Definitely Mars can help you with that. Now on May the 19th, Venus enters Cancer. So really beautiful energy here in your 8th house. So Venus in the 8th house, this is when your attention turns onto depth, profoundness. But here, Venus in the 8th house craves soul-like connections, deep connections. This energy could make you feel more open, more drawn to deeper connections in your life. This is when you also might have a stronger need to discuss topics of a deeper, more vulnerable nature. This energy could make you more vulnerable itself, more even attracted to situations where things might feel slightly fragile overall. But Venus here is also beneficial for financial gains that come through others or through some external opportunities. So this is about other people's resources, finances. So with Venus here, that support, financial or emotional, usually comes through third parties, through other people, through family members, for example, as well. Now here we've got on the 21st, we've got the Sun moving into Gemini. That's your 7th house. So this is your annual transit of the Sun in your area of relationships, one-to-one dynamics, connection. So this is generally wherever the Sun is shining its light in our birth chart, whatever area of life is transiting, this is the area of life that is especially highlighted during this time. So this is yet again with Venus in the 8th house. So you crave that emotional, profound, emotional depth and that deeper connection with someone who is very close to you. But at the same time, the Sun here also highlights the need to connect, whether that's also connected to some engagements with others or perhaps some contracts you'll be signing, partnerships, collaborations. or perhaps just spending more time or quality time with someone close to your heart. This is definitely a great time for doing so. Generally, the sun also helps you attract new connections into your life. This is about one-to-one, so not necessarily about group dynamics or teamwork, but this is a good time for working on one-to-one basis. This could be about the new client relationship as well. So this is a good time for dealing with these one-to-ones. But on the 22nd of May, there is a really important alignment happening in the sky at 1 degree of Gemini. That's the Sun and Uranus conjunction, the very first conjunction between the Sun and Uranus this year in the sign of Gemini. Even last year as well, because last year Uranus entered Gemini in July. So at that point, the Sun was already in Cancer. So the very, very first in our pretty much lifetime conjunction between the Sun and Uranus in Gemini at 1 degree. And that's in your 7th house. So here Uranus brings unexpected surprises, situations, events, dynamics. This could be connected to some sudden changes in dynamics in these one-to-ones, sudden opportunities or news, maybe, or perhaps a sudden client connection, relationship, a contract. So generally be prepared for the unexpected here, especially in connection with another person, you and another person. So whether that's a new contract, a new client, maybe some new mutual plans with your significant other. So, or maybe this is just about some sudden idea, realization connected to the other person in your life. So there's this unpredictable vibe and energy on this day. So also try to remain flexible and adaptable. Watch out for any reactive reactions. Sometimes this is the case with Uranus. All right, so we end the month with a full moon in Sagittarius, activating your 1st house. So full moon. So we start with a very introspective full moon on the 1st of May. We end with a very different energy because the attention turns onto you. Finally, you've dedicated a lot of energy this month towards your relationships with other people, towards your daily reality, daily life. And now the time has come to focus on yourself because that's the full moon in your 1st house. So this is a moment of clarity. The moon is fully visible in the sky. So this could be connected to some shifts, directions, directly influencing your own life, your own direction. This is about your identity or presence. Maybe you have a need to change your style, something in your physical appearance, maybe your haircut. There's a need to let go of something that doesn't serve you, usually with the full moon in the 1st house, but also this could be connected to some important decisions regarding your direction that you'll be making. So what was internal during the full moon in Scorpio on the 1st of May now becomes visible. Now it becomes external. So on this note, I wish you a productive month. Thank you so much. And until the next time, bye for now.